Wanye na Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na ọtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ise ise ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much.
Sunday, as I always say, after worshiping in our churches, we still come back here to worship because Biafra is our religion. That is where we stand, and we can never forget that. That is where we stand. Biafra is our religion. So after worshiping in our churches, praising God, asking God for protection and praying for our struggle and our freedom, we still come back to worship here and speak to fellow Biafrans. And that is why I'm here, to talk to my fellow Biafrans, to encourage everybody to stand firm. I know there are a lot of breeze blowing, and I said it. Some of you who has followed me from the beginning of this year, at the beginning of this year, in my first broadcast, I said it, that this year there is going to be more deceit, there is going to be more distraction, there is going to be more lies, more propaganda, more death is going to come. I said it, but some people were not able to notice it, but I saw it coming. And all those things that we were saying from January to today, they are happening. Deceit have increased, attack has increased, death have increased in all angles, and more is coming. You know, each time when I broadcast, I tell you not to relax, that the battle is not over. Don't think that the battle is over. The battle is not over yet. The battle is not yet over. We are going to fight more as Biafra draws close. Remember, 2023 marks the coming of Biafra. 2023, no man born of a woman can stop it. It doesn't matter what you say or what you think in your head. We are going home. It is certain, signed and sealed. Take it or leave it. I'm not forcing you to believe. If you don't believe it, that is your own cup of tea. If you believe it, it is for your own benefit. You prepare yourself on how to get into a country that belongs to you. That is where we are today. And Biafra, we will go. We are going home. A lot of things are happening. A lot of things have happened in the past week, within the weeks. So many of you have seen so many videos. But I'm going to be careful on how I'm going to present my programs and what I'm going to say. As you all know, I don't come here to castigate people nor call people names or to come and talk against people. I come here to set the record straight and put things that are wrong right. For those of you who don't know, in this very platform, I support the group that is autopiloted by Chukwu Kabiama under the spokesperson of Mazi Simon Ekpa, working under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the only leader of the struggle, IPOB. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remains the only leader, and Mazi Simon Ekpa, the spokesperson. We are working autopiloted by Chukwu Kabiama. So put that in your head while you're watching. As you are watching, you are not going to decide if you continue to watch or you don't want to continue to watch. But this platform you see is an autopiloted platform, autopiloted by Chukwu Kabiama, under the spokesperson of Mazi Simon Ekpa, under the leadership of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is where we stand. And before I proceed, I will ask you again, you that is watching me, I don't know what made you to join the Biafra struggle. I don't know what made you to join Biafra struggle. For me, what made me to join Biafra struggle was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, what he said, what he did. He proved himself. That was why I joined the Biafra struggle. No other person made me to notice the Biafra struggle. It doesn't mean that I don't know the story of Biafra. I know the story of Biafra even before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came on board. I have read about it. I heard about it. I heard the story from my parents. They told me the story of Biafra. I heard it from outside. I read about it. But joining the struggle fully, it was Mazen Nnamdi Kanu message that brought me into the struggle to talk about it and speak about it boldly without looking back. And I give that applause to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And that is where I stand. Following Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, I did not follow Mazen Nnamdi Kanu or begin to listen to him because he is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. I didn't follow him because he is handsome. I didn't follow him because he's just an Igbo man. I didn't follow him because he's from Afara Ibek. No. I began to listen to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was truthful. Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was sincere and consistent. Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu earned every single respect I had for him. He earned it from me. And not only me, so many other Biafrans you can think about. Everybody that is following Mazen Nnamdi Kanu today, those who are sincerely following Mazen from the bottom of their heart, they are following Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, supporting him, standing with him, ready to die for him, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu earned their respect. It wasn't because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu forced them to follow him. It wasn't because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu called on them to follow him. It wasn't because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was a handsome man. It wasn't because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was a prince. It wasn't because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was shouting and making noise. No. It wasn't because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is from Afara Ibek or because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is an Igbo man. No. The reason why the Biafran people as a whole, including my own self, why we are ready to die for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and continue to propagate his gospel is because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu earned our respect. By truthfulness, he was truthful and consistent. And let me tell you, if you are following Biafra because of your own selfish interest, or because of somebody, or because of somebody, because of somebody is your friend, or because somebody is a brother to your friend, or because somebody is a wife to your friend, or because somebody is a wife to your uncle, or because somebody is your breadwinner, you are missing the point. You don't know what you are doing. You have to ask yourself again, why are you propagating the message of Biafra? Ask yourself. If you know why you are propagating the gospel of Biafra, people will not bully you. People will not tell you what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. If you know what brought you into the struggle, you don't need to be pushed aside. Nobody will teach you what to say or what to do at any given time. You will know what to say. You will know what to do. You will take your decisions. You will make your choice whom to follow. I am saying this to build a background. A lot of things are happening, but I'm going to be careful on what I'm going to say. I started following Mazen Simon Ekpa even before Mazen Nnamdi Kanu mentioned his name. And when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu mentioned his name, it was a confirmation for me. I began to follow him. I never went back. I followed him because he was consistent and sincere in what he was saying. I saw the sincerity in him. And just like Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, Mazen Simon Ekpa earned my respect. I didn't believe him because he is just Mazen Simon Ekpa. I'm not believing him because of the platform he has. I'm not believing him because he's from Enugu State. I don't believe him because of who he is or because the way because he's outspoken. I believed Mazen Simon Ekpa because he earned my respect by being truthful and consistent. I followed him because he is truthful and consistent. So ask yourself, that very person you want to follow today, that very person you want to follow his agenda or pursue or begin to listen to, what convinced you to follow that person? Why are you following that person? The person you are planning to defend, the person you are trying to defend or try to convince people to follow, why are you following that person? For your selfish interest? What have the person proven to you? Did that person earn your respect? And if the person did, how? How did the person earn your respect? Answer that question. When you answer that question right, you will know whom to follow. You will know whom to follow. The only man that can convince me today to do otherwise from what I'm doing, or to say otherwise from what I'm doing, is Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. And why I will listen to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has proven himself legitimate, sincere, he has earned every of my respect. And I believe he knows more. He knows more things that I don't know. Aside from Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, there is no other person existing who has that authority or power to turn me or twist me around. And I want you to be thinking in the same manner. It doesn't matter whom you are. It doesn't matter how connected you are. It doesn't matter how close you are to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. As long as you are not Mazen Nnamdi Kanu himself, you cannot push me around and bully me. Even Mazen Nnamdi Kanu himself gave us that right to make a decision. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, when he's broadcasting, some of you can remember, when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu broadcast, he said, come with your pen and paper. Do you know what that means? When somebody tells you to come with your pen and paper, it means you have to come with your common sense. And after listening, go and make verification. You don't just believe because somebody is saying it. That is why most of the time in my broadcast, I tell you, do not believe things I'm saying because I am the one saying it. Do not believe Master Simon Ever because he's saying it. Don't believe any member of Autopilot because of what they're saying. After you hear what they're saying, go and make your own verifications. The people that have been sacked from IPOB, why I believe that they are being sacked and they are not sincere, is not because of what Simon Ever is saying about them. It's not because what anybody is saying about them. It's because of what they themselves are doing that I see with my eyes. I can hear with my ears. That is the reason why I can never, ever have anything to do with them, let alone promoting them. The struggle of Biafra we're talking about, it is about your own freedom, about my own freedom. If you stand on the way of my freedom, you will be crushed. And while crushing you, I cannot look back. I can't look back. If you have a common sense, you must apply, because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu gave us that right. Even whenever you hear something from that, he will tell you to go and verify. Go and verify. When you hear something, go and verify. That is who Mazen Nnamdi Kanu doesn't beg you to follow him. That is why when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is speaking on his platform, he will talk to you recklessly. When you behave like a madman, he call you a madman. You behave like a fool, he call you a fool. He's not begging you to follow him. All you need to do is to be sincere, be truthful, and you see people coming around him. Have your man alone. That is the only thing you deserve. That's the only thing you have to do. For you to come to begin to blackmail people, or begin to push people around, or begin to try to attract people to yourself with falsehood, do you think that Biafrans are stupid? The people I'm asking this question know themselves. You think Biafrans are stupid? I strongly believe that my Biafran people are not stupid. They are not. And for you, that why I love Biafran so much, mainly the Igbo Biafrans, why I love them so much, that I pray that even in my next world, if there is another next world, I will still come back as an Igbo Biafran. After this present world, if there is a next world to come, when I'm coming, I will come as an Igbo Biafran. You know why? Because Igbo Biafrans are people you cannot bully. You can't push them around. For you to convince an Igbo Biafran to follow you, to listen to you, to do what you want them to do, you have to go extra mile, and you have to earn every single respect. That is why they say Igbos don't have king. Saying Igbos don't have king doesn't mean we don't respect people. We respect people. But for you, you don't just wake up from anywhere. You don't just rise and begin to take a person and crown him and tell us this person is so person, and we'll now begin to follow that person and sing along with that person. It doesn't happen in the Igbo land. For anybody to be who he or she is in Igbo land, you must have to earn it. You earn it. You earn it. That is how it works in Igbo land. You must have to earn it. For you to be anything in Biafra land, in extension, in Biafra land, you must earn your respect. You earn respect. You don't demand for respect from anybody. You don't. Once you see somebody have degenerated to the extent of demanding respect, to begin to play propaganda and cajole and begin to play all manner of games to attract people to yourself, you know that that person is already failing. When our spokesperson, Mazi Simon Epa, said that these people are sacked and remain sacked, people thought it was a joke. These people are completely sacked. If you don't believe that they're sacked, Why is it that this time around, the people who are claiming to be in charge of this today, they can't even come out and speak for themselves? They can't even come out and make a case for themselves. They are passing through the back door to cause more confusion, to distract the Biafrans. The people who claim that they are the people who are in charge, you say you are in charge. We know who Mazen Nanikan is when he was in charge. When Mazen Nanikan was with us, he is still in charge up to today. When Mazen Nanikan was with us, we know how he acts. He doesn't hide. He doesn't hide behind anybody. When something happens, he's in the front. He fights from the front. He speaks from the front. But today, you see those sacked people, they are hiding in shame. They are hiding in shame, trying to bring another cloud on themselves to draw attention. Dead on arrival. Biafrans are smart. That is why I'm happy. Biafrans are smart. Biafrans are smart. And we are here. We are here. As I said before, this platform you see today, I will explain something to you. There is something I'm going to explain to you. You see, when you hear autopilot, when you are hearing autopilot, you see, I want to explain it. Maybe some of you did not know how autopilot came about. I want to remind you, for those who didn't know how this autopilot came about, some of us who are in this struggle, who call ourselves Biafrans, who are in this struggle, some of us, you see, some of us, we claim to know everything. We claim that, you see them when they begin, they say that Biafra is a spirit. Some of us in this struggle, we are very quick to say that Biafra is a spirit, including the saboteurs and those who don't even believe in the spirituality of Biafra. People who don't believe in the spirit, they will tell you that Biafra is a spirit. They sing it as a song. Every time you see that Biafra is a spirit, Biafra is a spirit. But when the spirit talks, they will never hear, neither will they know. When the spirit speaks, they will not hear, neither will they notice. Some of you have been hearing about this autopilot. Have you asked yourself, how did autopilot come about? Do you think that Mazi Simon Ekpa was the person who initiated autopilot? Mazi Simon Ekpa was just a tool. Go and listen to that. The very day the name autopilot was mentioned, the first, I was on that program, on Mazi Simon Ekpa program. I was watching it live. That was when Mazi Nadigas was kidnapped and everywhere was getting hot. Even then, the so-called, the sacked people were still having some common sense in them. Some people were still having some common sense in them. At that very point in time, when that very autopilot was mentioned, let me tell you, autopilot, it wasn't even Mazi Simon Ekpa that initiated. Mazi Simon Ekpa gave that thing as an advice and a revelation to these sacked people. What Mazi Simon Ekpa said on that very broadcast, word to word, he said that a time will come, we are going to get to a time when the Biafra struggle will be on autopilot. People are going to be doing things without being forced. People are going to be doing things without waiting for somebody to tell them what to do. He explained it. People will begin to act on their own to a positive way, in a positive way, to actualize Biafra. That was the revelation he made. And he gave an advice and he said that those who are in charge should be very careful so that they can be able to manage. They should pray, in fact, they should pray that Chukwu Okike will give them the spirit, the strength to be able to manage the situation when that situation arises. That was how the autopilot was mentioned. It was an advice given by Mazi Simon Ekpa. And after that advice he gave, it didn't take time. Biafra struggle went to the way it went. The sit at home was called. They called it off. Biafran said that we want to continue to sit at home. That we want to continue to sit at home. On their own, without being forced. Biafrans continue to sit at home. Even when the announcement was made. Even Simon Ekpa himself joined the announcement and said that the sit at home has been cancelled. Simon Ekpa himself mentioned it in his own platform that sit at home has been cancelled. Biafran people on their own decided to continue that sit at home, confirming that very revelation that Simon Ekpa made before that very time. What it means, autopilot means Chukwu Okike Abiama in charge, in control. It doesn't mean that when you hear autopilot, it means Chukwu Okike Abiama in control of the situation of Biafra. That is what it means. Chukwu Okeke Abiama himself in control of the situation of Biafra. No man, not in the hand of man anymore. Not in the hand of man anymore. When Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, whom Chukwu Okeke Abiama gave an assignment, was with us, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was in control. He was telling us what will happen when it had not happened. But after Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, betrayed by the same people who we are supposed to be fighting along with him and doing the right thing, Chukwu Okeke Abiama took up upon himself to by himself begin to work for the actualization of Biafra. Chukwu Okeke Abiama himself begin to appoint people, begin to give people assignment on their own. People begin to take up assignment. They sit at home, people on their own anchored on it and held it. Master Simon Okwa only was smart enough to see that the Biafran people do not want to let Mazen Nnamdi Kanu down. It was only Master Simon Okwa that saw through that tiny line. He saw between that tiny line that Biafran people do not want to let Mazen Nnamdi Kanu down. They want to continue to pursue that very agenda of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, which is the freedom of every single Biafran, automatic freedom, complete freedom. They didn't want to let, they know that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu have sacrificed everything sacrificable, and they insisted that they will continue to sit at home. The revelation came before now. The revelation had been made. When someone ever made revelation and said that a time will come when the struggle will be autopiloted by Chukwu Okeke Abiama himself. Chukwu Okeke Abiama will be using people. People will be acting on their own without being forced. When it began to happen, these sacked people, the sons of the enemy, the sons of the devil, began to interpret. It was them themselves that used that name now and imposed that name on those people who are obeying the instruction of Chukwu Okeke Abiama, on those people whom Chukwu Okeke Abiama was given assignment and they were carrying out the assignment. They were carrying out assignment. That was when those people that was the one gave them. Simon Ekpa did not establish any organization and call it autopilot. He never did. He didn't establish any organization to call it autopilot. The very day it was mentioned, I was in the program live. I told you I have been following him even before Mazen Nnamdi Kanu mentioned his name. And I'm not following him because he's Simon Ekpa. I'm not following him because he said this or he said that. I'm following him because there are facts in whatever he's saying. Consistency. He's very consistent and truthful. That is why. He earned my own respect. He earned it. And as I tell you, I feel money alone. You don't need to beg people or force people to follow you. All you need to do is to speak the truth. Say the right word. Use the right language. And you will see people coming around. You don't need to begin to blackmail, begin to look for somebody to come and act for you, begin to look for an actor to come. No, you don't need such. As I said before, when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu was taken out from our midst, people who were supposed to build on the foundation of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu refused to do so. They were busy chasing shadows. They were busy pursuing their own personal agenda. Some of them were busy trying to imitate Simon Ekpa, the way he dressed, the way he speaks. Some of them were busy trying to push themselves in one position or the other, elevate themselves. Instead of them building integrity, instead of them trying to earn respect from the Biafran people, they never did. The only man who calmed down to be earning respect from Biafran people was Simon Ekpa. He focused on the project of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, and he was building on that project, listening to every single word and steps Biafran people are taking. He was following Biafran people with the step they take, following their decision, not his own decision. And when you are hearing autopilot, and before we continue, I would like you, if you don't know what autopilot is, I want you to go to your dictionary or go to Google. Go to Google and Google what the meaning of autopilot is. Go to Google and check what autopilot means. For some of you who will be confused, go to Google and check what autopilot means. Autopilot has a lot not only to do with an airplane, it has a lot to do with a ship, spacecraft, and shift. All these instruments can be autopiloted. But when you want to apply the language autopilot literally to when you are speaking, when you say something is autopilot, when you say something is autopilot, that means that thing is acting on its own without being forced. That is what it means. The literal meaning of autopilot, when you use autopilot, when you speak about autopilot, you are saying that something is acting on its own. You can't imagine it. A force that is higher than that thing is controlling it. Without that knowing. Without that knowing, that is the literal meaning of autopilot. acting without being forced, acting without, you won't even apply any pressure. You won't even apply any force. You won't even know what you are doing. But all of a sudden, you see yourself making differences and making waves. That is what it's all about. But some people tend not to agree with that. But that is a fact. It's a fact that everybody must accept. That is what autopilot means. But people misinterpret it and place it on a different form. It's late for you. But I tell you, there is only one man that made me to come into the Biafra struggle and begin to follow Biafra struggle. Mazen Nandekan, the supreme leader of IPOB, and nobody else. Mazen Nandekan. He was the person that attracted me into the struggle. And he ended every single reset. Nobody forced me. He never forced me. He never pushed me. He earned my respect. And I began to respect him. I followed him gradually. I saw the word he said, everything he speaks. They are all truth. Sincere from his heart. He was very consistent and truthful. That is why I followed him and continue to follow him up to tomorrow. And if you must earn my respect, and I believe the same thing with every other Biafran, if you must win Biafran soul, you must be consistent, you must prove yourself, you earn your respect. You don't earn your respect by blackmail. You don't earn your respect by propaganda. And you don't force people or cajole people or push people out to follow you. No, you have to earn it. And those who are smart already are earning their respect. And people are following them. But it's so sad that some people are going to fall victim of what they do not know about. Some people are really going to fall victim of what they do not know about. Out of their greed, out of their carelessness, they are going to fall by the roadside. But I bet you, Mazen Nandekano, as you all know, he's coming to court on Tuesday. And we are going to welcome Mazen Nandekano. At every given point in time, we are expecting that he's going to be free. We're expecting him to be free. The freedom of Mazen Nandekano cannot be contested by anybody. He's going to be free. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you support him or you don't support him. He is definitely going to be free.
Are yet to wake up from your slumber or your sleep and get the point that we are exiting Nigeria. Exiting Nigeria is not going to come from the platter of golden plate. You have to sacrifice for it. And we are ready to sacrifice everything, including you. If you come and stand in the way of freedom. So you need to know how serious we are. We are damn serious. Some of you are not getting it. You think we are here to build political movement? We are here for freedom. Freedom comes with price. Okay? The only thing you can do is to comment on social media. Don't ever stand on the way of Biafra freedom. We'll crush you.
Their interest is suppressed. Biafra is the key. Once they can hold Biafra down, they can hold the whole of Africa down. Hey, freedom fighting, sorry. Because all these people are criminals, they are saying there is no way this man cannot be a criminal like themselves. They don't have a different breed altogether. They don't know that. I am Nnamdi Kanu. I don't do all this nonsense you do. My father was a very rich man, not ostentatious. I had the finest education that his money could afford. We are not poor. Have never been. That is why a poor man cannot be a freedom fighter. If you're not full of yourself, you cannot be a freedom fighter. You have to go everywhere. We must continue.